just got made aware that the last 30 minutes of this video had been cut off for whatever reason when we uploaded it. I have no idea how that happened. It was good when we edited it, uploaded it to YouTube, and for whatever reason, the last 30 minutes is gone. So that's why it was deleted and been reposted. If you've already watched the video, just jump in and go to about the hour mark, and the last 30 minutes of it is honestly probably the best part, in my opinion. So yeah, that's why it was deleted, why it's reposted. Go watch the last half hour of it or so. And yeah, like I said, apologies for deleting it, for being in a rush. That's what happens when you get in a hurry on these uploads and stuff. So anyway, that's what's going on, why it's deleted, and why it's now back on. Thanks for watching, guys. What's up, people? We are finally back from Kansas. Got the trailer unloaded. Well, unloaded and then part of it loaded back up. Something I probably didn't show you guys out there was we bought a bunch of parts store closeout stuff for our eBay store. I don't even know what's in there. I didn't load it. I didn't look at it when we bought it, and I didn't unload it. I paid the neighbor kids to unload it. So yeah, so we put that back in here. But the goal with that is to dig into this 67, and finally got some of the junk out of the back. This thing has obviously been a ranch truck its whole life, and it shows. Well, let me back that up. It hasn't been a ranch truck. I'll get to that in a second, but it actually hasn't been a ranch truck. Not its whole life anyhow. But last year plated. Check that out. 1978, and this truck's a 67. So this thing's literally 11 years old when it came off the road. And she's pretty dang solid. Still got the floor in it. That never happens in Indiana. And it's a shame it's as beat up as it is, but that's expected. I mean, them guys in Kansas, a truck is a tool, and they use it accordingly. They use it to get the job done. But stupid solid. Unfortunately, it's had a fender swap at some point in its life. But, you know, it is what it is. A little bit of rust in this rocker. Or I assume it's a little bit of rust in this rocker. Somebody's put a piece of aluminum, it looks like, over it maybe. So, I haven't really even dug into this. You guys are looking at it the first time with me. Literally, I bought this truck and it had like weeds and stuff all around it. I never looked underneath it or anything. So, you guys are getting first impressions with me. Kind of interesting fittings here on the bumper, pipe nipple. I guess it's technically not a nipple, but a coupler there. I'm not sure what they was doing with what appears to be a input shaft of a tranny welded on there. Somebody educate me what was going on there. So this tailgate's pretty solid. Beat to death though. Floor's really good. I haven't really went over this at all. I pulled a few pieces out of it, out of the bed. That was just trash. I mean, that trash can over there is completely just the stuff out of the bed. And we haven't did anything in the cab. Had an oil jug sitting here that started to leak, so we got that out of here. But we're gonna dig into her, see what we got. The story with this stuff that I got was that I'm trying to read this card here. Warranty return card. Sample warranty. How do you sample a warranty? Anyway. The story I got with this stuff was that this family had an agreement with the local car lots, and anytime, and then we're talking 50 years ago or so probably, anytime they got a trade-in, they just had a set rate. We'll give you $50 or whatever it was for you guys just won't stop shaking. Just hold still, would you? Maybe? Okay. They just had a set flat rate, you know, whatever you get in, we'll give you $50. But they had to take the good with the bad, or the bad with the good, not the good with the bad. That makes sense. So they got some good ones, and the families, the estate owner's son said they would get cars in that had nothing wrong with them, and they would drive them, and they got so many of them in, they would drive them, and then if something went wrong, whether it needed brakes or a tire, whatever it may have been, it didn't really matter how stupid it was. They literally parked it and got another car out of the lot or out of the lineup and started driving it. They didn't repair them. And that's how they supplied their family with vehicles. So the upper lot cars at the auction, if you haven't watched that video, you probably ought to go watch that. That's interesting. The upper lot vehicles were those vehicles, and that's where all my trucks came from. The lower lot vehicles, where the 41 Ford come from, yes, I know I kept calling that a 40 in the other video, but my brain was the consistency of a potato that day. So yes, I know it's a 41. The 41 came from the lower lot. Those were parts vehicles that they'd bought out of a salvage yard. They bought out contents of a salvage yard, and that's where the motor vehicles came from. So anyway, these trucks probably had very minimal wrong with them when they were parked. Like I said, this thing was parked before I was born in '78. So going through it for the first time, like I said, and I just opened this box with a set of points and a condenser in it and a rotor button. So first indications that she may have been parked for some ignition issues, which is okay because that's a really easy fix. Oh, talk about stuck points. Good Lord. But I almost stopped, well, I did stop at the local parts house and look for, try to get some, oh, that's cool, Alco discount stores. Try to get some points for this thing. And they wanted 24 cents. They wanted, if I remember right, it was almost $30 for a set of points. And I told that boy he was crazy, and he left. 1977 license plate year. 67 pickup. I'd say that's it. Gilmore Girl, this city. That's registered to the estate we bought it from. License plate year 77. The last year this thing was on the road was 78. And yeah. So that's probably the last time she went down the road. Legally, anyhow. Another key, clamps, wrench stuff, radio knobs. We have a radio. Why do we have knobs? Interesting. What we got here? Serviced by Sutter. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sutter, GMC. That's pretty cool piece. Another insurance card for a 61 Dodge pickup from 1973. That Dodge was out there. No great evidence. Did find some points and a rotor button. So that's what I'm guessing. All right, but you get lost. I'm guessing that's where we're going to start. I'm going to guess that possibly she was burning up ignition points, and that's why she was parked. That's just an assumption there. So, not sure what. I'll be sure to blow that information out there. But yeah. Yeah. I was hoping maybe read something on that, but I literally just wiped the sticker into. Looks like that glove box has probably been changed at one point. Little 4-speed on the floor. Somebody's helped themselves to the ashtray at some point. I'm 99% sure that was there the first day we looked at that. That's kind of annoying. I don't understand people. If you need parts, just buy them. Let's see how bad she is. I say literally have not looked at this thing. Oh, that smells horrendous. Oh, what's a burn your throat smell? Still got the factory rubber down. Should look pretty solid. I'm not gonna keep ripping at that. I'm gonna leave that factory rubber right there. That rocker, I mean, she's got a little bit of rust, but not horrible. A little rust there. Somebody's old gloves. Definitely seen a lot worse. I almost bet you this piece of, I thought that was aluminum. That might be galvanized. I almost bet you that did more harm than good, holding moisture between the two. Let's go over there and check out the driver's side real quick. Whatever, not shut. Talked about how good it was and cursed myself, or jinxed myself. I think you just need some looby dooby. You got the button delete option. That's gonna be hard to do with one hand. There we go. What's catching? It's got that little rod in here. If you can get in there and see that bad boy is unhooked on the door, so sticking out. Come on now, work with me. Push that in earlier. There we go. There we go. And that'll allow it to open. It's catching this little nub right there and not letting the door open. So we got her open now. A little bit of rocker rust. Somebody's been shutting that on that screw for the last decade. Not horrible. A few pinholes. Got some rust up in here starting to form. When my son looked at this, I was thinking he told me that it had the floors repaired, but I bet he saw this covered in mud and thought it was a piece of tin, because it ain't been patched on other than that rocker on the passenger side. It isn't bad. So, seat's disgusting. Yep. It's pretty dirty. But reading, let's see here, reads 29,000. And, well, there's our clutch pedal. I'm guessing that's 129,000. I don't know for sure. Something else we noticed that I thought was pretty cool. It's a shame I'm going to have to, it's a shame I'm going to lose it, because I've got a new windshield ordered for this. But I don't know if you can see that. State Park and Recreation Authority, Kansas. And let me try to get some of this dust off. Slightly better. When I decoded the VIN on this truck was built in Kansas City, Kansas. So this thing literally is born and raised and never left Kansas. And we bring most of Kansas back under the hood. The amount of dust and dirt on this thing is insane. Look at this. You can't even tell where the vacuum hose and the radiator hose start. So much filth on it. I mean, it feels like what's that? Is it suede? I don't know. Soft and fuzzy. It's disgusting. But we're gonna get the power washer out. It's pretty well complete, but we're gonna get the power washer out and give this thing its first bath in probably over 40 years, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. What's happened in the last 40 years, and this thing is just sit out there and got beat to death by hell. Apparently, the estate owner's son did tell us that at one point there was a massive hailstorm that went through that area and just beat the windows out of everything, which seems to be pretty normal in Kansas, unfortunately. So Yep, got new windshield is on the way, and going to get that going. I'm going to drop today is Friday. We're supposed to drop the truck off Monday to get that. So the goal is over the weekend is to get this bad boy running. And we're going to start with getting her a bath and then cranking her over. I don't know that we've had this one turned over. Looking at that belt, she ain't moved. So I didn't know when we pushed these around with the skid loader to load them, I didn't know if the boys had ever dumped a clutch on it, made that motor turn over. But we're going to get her a bath and then dig into it and see if we can make her breathe once again. Fixing to get nasty. Phew, it's nasty. I got so much Kansas in my mouth, it's disgusting. It's better than it was. It's far from perfect. And what I was saying, I don't know if you guys could hear me. I broke my own rule. When I power wash, I never turn that setting on the wand to 0. It's got 0, 15, 25, and it's talking about the concentration of the beam. You see these guys power wash it and they run it on 0, and they got little pinstripes. They got little lines all over the paint. That was one thing I was trying to avoid. Definitely a rule of mine. I started to do it on the top, but I think the paint is so thin that it doesn't matter anyway. So yeah, but a lot better than it was. Still a lot of Kansas in the bed. I'm gonna have to either jack it up in the front or get the skid loader and pick it up, so that stuff will run out. But it's fine stuff that once it dries, it'll probably blow out anyway. We're not trying to get perfect. We're just trying to get better than it was, which doesn't take much because it's nasty. I really want I really wanted to power wash this inside, but we're going to take that seat out to do that. And I don't want to do that yet because it's gross mostly. And now I'm covered in wetness. You know, I got wet Kansas all over me. And that powder, if you've ever messed with these seats, they turn into a dust, and it is absolutely disgusting enough when it's dry, let alone when you're wet and sticky and it sticks to you. So, didn't plan that out the best. This truck's newer than what we normally mess with, so normally there's not a whole lot that matters when it comes to power washing the inside of them, but I don't know what that is. Somebody know what that is? Let me know. Yeah, sorry I got sidetracked there. Normally it doesn't matter. Normally there's no interior whatsoever left, and we'll just give her a hose down. That's probably not the best bet in this, but we will. We're definitely going to hose her out, but I'm going to get the seat out first and power wash all the dust out of here and make it to where a guy could actually enjoy driving it, because right now it's absolutely disgusting. So, but I think what we're going to do right now, is let her dry out for a while. I'm going to pull this truck out of the way, let it dry, and bring the 60 Chevy that we bought at the auction. We'll walk down here and check it out real quick. Check this out. I'll do a walk around with you on it. Bought this 41 Ford, like I said. Yes, I know it's not a 40. I said that a lot in the last video because I was having a bad brain day, but I think I'll pull this one down. I ain't sure on that yet. Thought about pulling it down there and power washing it, but honestly, it's not that bad in comparison. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's disgusting too. Especially on the inside, that's really disgusting. And they got that oil jug set up there. This must have been their oil filled truck, something. I don't know if that's just farm equipment or what they was doing with that oil jug, going around lubing stuff. But quick little teaser video on this one real quick. She's pretty solid too. Most of these trucks, you've seen me talk about it before. This is gone. And see if this door will open for us. Oh yeah. Look how solid this one is. It's one of the reasons I bought this truck. All those are always just rotted completely out, and this one's not. I've had a ton of these trucks, these 60 to 66s, and this is definitely one of the solidest. It is also remember here. I don't remember how to get the hood on the 60. There we go. Also 6-cylinder. Somebody stole the carburetor at some point, and the alternator and the radiator. I haven't tried to see if this one's locked up yet. This one actually probably should have a generator on it in 60 maybe. I can't remember. So, anywho, I don't know if we'll get this one running today yet or not, but definitely going to shoot for getting the 67 going. Alrighty, we let her dry out for a while, and actually, before I get too far into this, I'm going to cheat and take a quick video on my phone and look at the spark plug order. Hoping I have everything in the shop here to give this thing a tune-up when the time comes, provided we make it run. So, anywho, we let her dry out, and I already messed up and grabbed the wrong size spark plug socket, so we're gonna grab the right size. I'm gonna start out with trying to tell if you guys can see me. Nope, not really, not so much. Yeah. Maybe you don't want to see me. I don't know. We'll start out with pulling these plugs, see what we can't learn from that. And that ground cable is in my way. I'm pulling a spark plug. I'm sure that's not 16s. Yeah, we'll try to do it the wrong way. Nope, not enough. I thought it was much enough. Nope. We'll pull the plugs, see what we find, see if we see anything that's alarming. You know, smack the plug. Let's put that down there on the ground. What on earth? Can you see that? That says 3/4 inch. That's a new one on me. That's why it wouldn't fit on there. It's not because it's, yeah. I know I've got memory issues, but I've never heard of a 3/4 inch spark plug socket. That's a new one on me. That cable needed to come off anyway. We'll put a new one on, but good grief. Buzz has been there a minute. Probably since before 78. Yeah, I've never seen a 3/4 inch spark plug socket. That's a new one on me. I don't remember that being a thing. Long-winded thing. Come on. She's black. Seen worse, but technically you should probably run on that. I took a video of them spark plug wires, make sure I got them in the right place so I didn't have to second guess myself. But as stiff as they are, they're going to go back where they want to stay. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm still fat. It's hard to get up and down. That one's coming out a lot better. Yeah. Not horrible. Not quite as carboned up. Plug wire there wasn't even on. How about betcha? Boy, I should have blew them holes out. We got some junk down in there. I about bet you the only thing was wrong with the thing was it was burning points after finding them points in the glove box. Maybe that was just the thing, you know. I mean, we carry we carry extra fuel filters, and because you just never know. And maybe this guy's had bad luck with burning up points, and so he just keeps this set with him. It's kind of the same concept. For all we know, we could have took the distributor cap off and cleaned up the points and same thing. Not looking bad. As long as these two look the same, I'm confident she's gonna run. As long as she ain't frozen, busted, and we ain't seen it yet. I haven't seen no signs of that or nothing yet, other than the radiator's bone dry, but it's missing the heater hoses. So maybe that's why it's parked. Maybe the heater hose is bad, or the heater cord's bad. I don't know. Same deal. Just a little bit of carbon, not bad. They're a little richer than what I would be my preference, but you know, it's burning a little richer. Come on. Come on. Go.
Like you got your money's worth out of them tires. Is that gonna be your slider?
Yeah.
How we do it?
Doing Yeah.
Be careful.
See you, bud. That's one thing about wrenching right across from the restaurant in town is you do get a lot of people that want to comment and stuff and talk about the cars, which is always cool. The best part about that is, you get the elderly people that stop in and be like, well, that reminds me of this or that. And, it triggers that. One's about the same. I don't think we're going to have any problems there. Anyway, you get the elderly people, especially the elderly ladies that come over and they'll see a 1920s, whatever, Model A, whatever, sitting out here. And it could be something completely different than what they remember. But it sparks that memory and they tell you that story. And that is just awesome to me, You get so many of those and that stuff makes all the complaints that you get from the grumpy people all well worth it. Not that I really value the grumpy people's opinion, but hearing them elderly people get excited for that few minutes and talk about that, whatever it may be, that memory that sparked, whether, I had a lady come by one day and tell me about the first time her husband of, 65 years who had just recently passed, whatever car it was the same car that they went on their first date. So stuff like that is always cool to listen to, and always make sure to take the time to stop and listen to those. We're gonna go ahead and you know what? I haven't even checked to see if this thing is loose. Oh, it's loose. I don't know if you can see that. Is that in frame? Let's turn you down a little bit. Check that out. Of course, there's no plug in it, but she's free. And judging by them plugs, she'll run. Confident in it. Confident. I'm gonna go ahead and take this cap off and see what it looks like down inside there. And then we'll go from there. I'm not even going to take that carburetor off until I know I have points. And then I'm still not going to take it off. I'm going to dump some fuel down it and get a hot battery in this thing and give it a whirl and see what happens. But let's take that cap off. Finally found the elusive straight blade screwdriver. Let's see what we find here. Oh boy. I've seen worse. I've seen better. But there's mud inside there. And that's not for me either. That's interesting. How did that get in there? That was sealed. How was there mud in there? Don't understand that. Look at that. What is that? It's gross. Um, that rotor looks horrible. Can't tell where the plastic and the the plastic and the metal piece all the same color on that one. So do a little bit of hillbilly rebuild here. No. Alright, I'm just going to jump in with cleaning that. What on earth is that? It's like shredded cloth inside the distributor cap. What on earth would that be? There's no way a mouse was getting in there, I don't believe, to like build a nest. No, we'll get some I'm 100% compared, or 100% prepared here, if you can't tell. I'm gonna go on a hike and find some memory cloth or something, sandpaper or something. Clean those points, and then we're gonna find a hot battery, and we're just gonna pretend these cables are good enough because they're not. But we'll see if we can hook those up, just jam them on there and crank this and see if we can get a spark out of that, out of them points. So I'll be right back. Okay, I probably should have shut that off, but I didn't realize I was going to have to go look everywhere and try to find that. But there's one thing people don't realize about memory loss and that stuff is, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about by the memory loss, go watch our first video. It explains some of my health issues and crap. But something that people a lot of times don't think of is, in your shop, you have everything has its place. Your screwdrivers go in a holder, your wrenches go in a certain spot, blah, 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 your tape's in a certain drawer. That doesn't happen when you have memory loss. So everything having a place, your broom, your shop broom hanging in its place, whatever, that doesn't happen no more. So it's always chaos. And you can't just go grab it because you don't know where to just go grab it. So just something to think about when people watch these. And we've already had one heckler talking about how dumb I go about things. Yeah, I get it. I know. You don't have to tell me. I live it every day. I don't need somebody reminding me. But anywho, I didn't find the sandpaper, or is it emery cloth? Am I saying that right? I didn't find that I was looking for, but I did find this stuff, which was a whole sheet I just ripped the corner off. So that'll work. And then I found a ground cable with the wrong end on it that is way better than that one that's got the right end that's junk. So when we get to that point, we'll change that out. We'll see if I can clean these points up. I don't know. See that? You can see where I'm at? Probably not. But if you can, for those of you who have never had the luxury of having a points ignition, there's just two connectors in there, and as they separate, it creates an arc. And if there's corrosion in that joint, your arc's either going to be non-existent or weak or many other issues. So all I'm doing is opening it up, sliding that in there, and pulling it out, and it's cleaning those points up. You also got to make sure your gap is within tolerance. And there's 8 million videos on how to clean and adjust points, so we're not going to do that. We don't need to beat that horse. So yeah, I'm gonna call that cleaned. It's probably not, but and now I'm going to disappear again for quite a while and find a battery that's hot that I can throw in this. And of all the vehicles we bought, this is the only one with a key, so that makes it slightly more simpler. As long as we don't burn her down, So yeah, I'm going to pause the camera this time. We're going to go find a battery, throw it in here, and try to figure out how I can short that starter out to crank this over to see if we're getting spark. If we're getting spark, I'll crank it over and we'll do a quick compression test with the old thumb. Make sure they're all compressing. I've got a bunch of NOS spark plugs in the shop, and I guarantee you I have a new set of plugs for this. I don't know that I have wires, but I have some universal spark plug wires. We'll make a kit. I might even have a cap for this on the shelf, but we're not going to get too carried away throwing parts at it, so we know that she's got compression and all that good stuff. If we get her to crank over and she has fire, and we get it to fire a couple times and see if we get it to cough and fart, and if it wants to run, then I'll change the oil. I'm not wasting my money on oil. You all know what crap costs. You don't need to tell me Or I don't need you to. You don't need me to tell you about that. One of these days I'll get it out. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna pause you guys, go find a battery, throw it in here, whirl her over, and see what we get. I'll be right back. Okay, got a battery with juice, some new to the truck clamps, 4 44N AC Delco plugs. These had 45 ends in it, but I have these, so they're the right ones. Anytime, I do a ton of auctions, and anytime I get anything new old stock, the genuine AC Delco stuff, I get it because you usually, man, having a hard time talking today. That's the potato brand I'm talking about. Usually, you can get this stuff for cheap. I gave $3. No, man. I gave $3 for a flat, which is like just a short-sided flat cardboard box thing with 8 of these plugs in it. And you all know what spark plugs cost, so yeah, always buying that stuff up. And then raided the parts box in the eBay room, and some Excel 8.8 wires ought to do just fine, I would think. There's 7, so we've got a spare. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to sell 7 used Excel wires, so these will be perfect as long as they'll fit the cap. I didn't look for a cap for this. I think we can clean that one up good enough to make it be okay. So, yep, we're going to throw this down in this hole. I got you guys standing where in the battery tray, so I don't really want to move that just yet. That was Shane, the local neighbor, right his liquor supply. Let's get this bad boy set down in here. It's alright to put a battery on a fuel pump, right? Be fine. So negative. I'm just going to jam that bad boy on there and see what we get. We'll tighten it back up on the motor here. Maybe we can scrape some decades of corrosion out of there. And I don't know, probably doesn't make any difference with the amount of corrosion that's in these cables. But we'll see what happens. Get the wrench to tighten it. Don't do that. That's not the right way to do it. Tighten this dude back up. I'm not going to clean that either just yet. Positive cable. Oh, got to move you guys for a second. Maybe not. Come on there. What is that? I don't know what that is. It won't work. Sorry. That went to something on the firewall. Or the fender well. If it doesn't work, we'll put it back. Oh. Oops. That went to our alternator. Back on. We'll fix that later. But I don't need an alternator to see if it runs. It's not like it was not needing repair anyway. There's like 8 wires twisted together here, bare, to go 6 inches. So yeah, I needed fixed anyhow. I'm guessing that's somebody's repair because they put the wrong battery in it and the positive was on the wrong side, so they extended it with bare wire. All right, let's probably should have checked to see if the ignition was on. We're not going to. We're just going to pound it on there. that's tight. I'm going to check the ignition, see if it's on. Battery's hooked up. Keys on. I don't see anything on fire just yet. Doesn't appear we're letting the smoke out of anything, so I'm gonna find a crappy screwdriver or something. Short that starter out and see if she whirls over and gives a spark. I'm gonna turn that key off until I find a crappy screwdriver though. Be right back. Alright. Located the crappy screwdriver. I'm not sure if it's the yellow wire or the purple wire that I need to cross on that. So we're just going to have to try and see what we get. Yeah, let's do that. The yellow wire didn't do nothing. It could be this cable, I suppose, that's falling apart. Yes. Try to get you in here. So, yeah. I might have to address that. I don't know. Not now that again. I'll turn that key off. I wonder if that has anything to do. It shouldn't matter though. We got hot. We hope we have hot. Let me rephrase that. We might have hot. Okay. Yeah, that should crank over whether the key's on or not. I'll turn it on anyway, but it shouldn't matter. Try the purple wire again. I'm getting nothing. Yeah. We're gonna have to update some cables, I do believe. And I tested that battery. Maybe I tested it wrong. I'm guessing it's this crappy cable right here. Oh, that thing is. I gotta tighten that up yet. Probably a problem. I didn't bring a cable. I brought cable clamps. I didn't bring anything to clean the end of that cable off. I about bet you 51 inches. That's a bit much. Somebody lied. Well, that might be 51 inches. What I'm thinking, that's not new either. What I'm thinking is just go ahead and change that entire positive cable out and see if we have any luck that way. Or, crazy idea, hold this. I really want to see this thing turn over if you can't tell. Hold this bad boy there and use the other end of the cable. Negative. Use the other end of the cable to. Man, I'm not even getting spark. Get nothing. Like, okay, our ground's not grounded. So you can't. I'm gonna have to go find some new positive cable as well. I know I've got brand new cables in there, but I have no clue where anything's at anymore. That's just what it is. I'm trying to figure this GoPro stand out. You can't tell, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Seems to be census, right? Well, that's a different microcycle. I've never seen that one before. Microcycle's a moped, if you don't know. Yep. All right. Let's just, yeah. Close to a wire brush in a second. Perfect. We're gonna. I apologize if you guys are staring in my ear. If I set the GoPro outside of the fender well, all you get's a big shadow because then you're in the sun looking in the dark. And I figured that'd make great content. Not that staring at a fat guy's ear is, but I felt like it was better than looking into the shadows and a guy talking about stuff. Well, that's absolutely wrong style, but we're just doing what we can to make it work right now. We'll try this negative and bolt it up, and then we'll hit it with the hit the positive on there again and see what we get. Look at that. That is a factory clamp. Granted, it's old, but look at that. As much as stuff costs today, you think they could do a little bit better than that, maybe? Don't bring it. That explains it. Everstart. I think that's Walmart. Just for the record, I don't buy anything at Walmart. I don't go in that store. My thoughts was, you all been there. Yeah. We'll put that dude in there like that as a clamp. Especially since I don't have a knife out here to strip that down. Clamp that bad boy the wrong way. Was it David Freiberger said we'll do the right thing the wrong way? Yeah, that pretty much sums up my life. Would you get in there? Thank you. I don't have that size out yet, so I gotta grab that. Man, I'm glad it is not 9,000 degrees out anymore. First day in Kansas was, to their standards, it was cold. To my standards, it was stupid hot. And then it was cold because it was 50 degrees and raining for the next 3 days that we were stuck out there. And being wet and in the rain and the wind for 3 days, not enjoyable. I think I just stuck that on the positive clamp. Most people don't realize this, and most of you, my viewers probably do. There's a positive and a negative to these. Both are different sizes. Positive's bigger. A lot of people don't realize that. I will clean up that new clamp even. Warm over there in the sun. It's about 20 degrees hotter than the stuff in the shade. Okay, that's not working very well. I'm not going to clean that one up. I'm supposed to get that one's tight. Okay. Now, I'm going to deny the fact this cable's garbage and hook it back up, ish. And we'll try to short that out again. Nope. Nope. I'm just touching the screwdriver to everything down there, hoping something makes a spark, or that it cranks. Yeah, something. We just get to engage. So we're powering the motor, but we're not engaging the drive. That's the only. Shoot, let's just try the key. Perhaps it's parked because the starter's bad. Starter solenoid to be more precise, because the motor will, the starter motor turns over, will starter motor will crank. Solenoid will not make it engage. Maybe she's stuck. Maybe she needs a hammer. Took it to her. She rolls over fine. Let me go get a more proper beat. Got it. Oh. Maybe we'll get lucky and she's just a little stage fright. But take it at least hammer, you know what I mean? And still good. Oh. Oh. Just that little bit. That's nice. That's exactly what it was. She had some stage fright. Just had to beat it out of her. Just that little bit. I don't know which cylinder's coming up, but we had some pretty good compression on one of these two for just that little partial revolution. Is that right? Revolution? No, not revolution. Rotation? I don't know. I can't think. The little bit that it rotated over, it had good compression. Oh, you're gonna do that. You're gonna do that again, huh? Yeah, we established that makes it 10 over. Let's go. That's the horriblest smell. I don't know what's in them cylinders, but oh, Lordy, what? I smelled some rotten gas before in my life. That's not rotten gas. I don't know what that is. I've seen enough to know that it should run unless the cam's ate out of it or something. Probably still running. The cam's ate out of it. I didn't see any fire on the points though. So I'm really struggling here to pull from my brain. Struggling to pull from my brain the what's required on these points to get them to fire. And it's not because I'm new to points, it's just because I haven't touched them, and I haven't probably touched them in 3 years on my dad's Jeep. So drawing a blank on this one. I'm gonna have to call in backups because the longer I go and the harder I push my brain, the worse it gets as far as recalling stuff and all that. So we got it rotating good. Every cylinder looked like it blew the dust out of it and a whole lot of stank. I don't know what that was, but that was gross. That wasn't rotten gas. Didn't hear any clangs, bangs, nothing like that. I won't turn it over again just for the heck of it. I bet the ignition switch isn't on. That's why we don't have any spark. If it was only that easy. It was on. Let's see, you guys can't see. Come on. No. Snake's still there. Just got more of it to blow out. No spark. Let me go turn. I know you guys are yelling at your TV screen, but I'm drawing blank. Let me go turn that key off so we can boil up. So you guys have heard me say that sometimes I overlook the obvious, don't notice the obvious, or I forget the obvious. This was one of those cases. I forgot that we found a set of points in a condenser in a glove box. So we had changed the coil on this and still no good. And I can't remember. Literally, it was 30 minutes ago. I can't remember what all recorded, what I told you. So anyway, changed the coil on it. Found one on a Mustang Horde that I had bought out. Went to change, or changed the coil, said nothing. Went to change the points with the ones in the cab, and they are slightly different. And I could make them work, but I'd have to cut on them and all that crap, and I'm not doing that over a set of points. So yeah, if he's on the side of the road, it'd be fine to make them work, but I'm not doing that right now. But I did go ahead and throw that condenser on, and saved you guys all the boredom of watching me do stuff that you can't see hardly anyway. So put the condenser on, and I went ahead and threw the hot wire on there, and just cracked the points, and we got spark now. So we should be able to throw some spark plugs in this dude, throw the ignition together, and dump some go juice down that carb and see if we can get her to fire off. So let's do that. I'm going to take these ignition parts that we're not going to use. Pretty sure the condenser is what was holding us back, because that's the only thing I actually changed that made a difference. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this condenser is bad. I'm going to set these ignition parts off to the side, and maybe such a thing will work on one of the other trucks. I've got like 4 of these drive chains floating around, so we're definitely going to hang on to those. We're going to unhook this bad boy for now, and let's throw some plugs in this thing. And if I remember right, when I opened these, well, that one's new, but boy, that is crusty. Ugh. All of, nope, it's in there. I was going to say all the washers were gone, but it's in there. So, not sure what's going on over there. So, yeah, that might be garbage. I'm bragging about my $3 auction buy. I think that thing's junk. That's a shame. That's set somewhere and ate at that lip. You see that? So, yeah, my $3 spark plug buy is probably not so great after all. See if they all look like that. If they all look like that, we'll go in and get some of the other auction buys spark plugs. That one's healthy. All right. dead wrong. I'm not 100% certain which way that washer goes. Looks good enough. Put it that way. Suppose if we put 3 of them one way and 3 of them the other way, half of them will be right. Oh, wait, you still say, put them in the right way. Well, about half of them you put in the right way. But maybe I should have put some lube in them cylinders. Well, there she is. Let's see if you guys are bored of watching me put plug wires on. Nobody wants to watch that. So, I didn't have a coil wire, so I used the coil wire that was on there that is hard as a brick. Hopefully that makes connection. I'm going to have to pull you guys out of the engine compartment at this point, I think. But the sun is pretty well whipped behind the building, so it might not be so big of a deal to have you sit up here underneath the hood. But I want to get the battery off the fuel pump before we try this go around. But we are ready to move the battery into the actual battery tray. And I will try to get it to crank from the key. That'd be pretty cool to be able to start it from the key, you know. But anywho, that's where we're at now. We got new spark plugs, 5 new spark plugs, and one, the most okay plug that came out, I put in the back cylinder, you know, so it's the hardest to get to put the new one in it when we get one. So, yep. Let's move some stuff and see if we can make this thing fire off for a minute. See what we get into. It does not have heater hoses on it for some odd reason. I don't know why that is. I don't know if the heater core is bad. They were there, but they were literally cut and laid down right where they was at. I don't know what's up with that. So anywho, we'll have to loop these at some point or hook up the heater core, flush the heater core, see what we got. And eventually we'll need to fix that wire for the alternator. But let's move some stuff and see if we can make this turd run. All right. We dug into this. It turns out that if you don't adjust the points and they don't open, they won't create a spark. Who would have thought, right? So it's just one of them things I overlooked. I know better, just don't think of it. So got them adjusted close enough, matchbook width, you know, that trip. So we're going to crank it again and see what we get. Go for it, Aaron. Hold on. Yeah, where's it coming out at, though? What is... Hit it again so I can see where it's at. Alright, it's jumping from the coil wire to the ground on the coil. To the field wire. Coil wire. Huh? Coil wire. I don't have a coil wire, so it's got to be something else. Jumping right there. Putting new plug wires on it. But go ahead and crank it again, see if it did any different with that pushed on there. It was jumping from there to there, so. Oh, yeah. This doesn't work. So, alright. I'm going to have to source a coil wire off something. We'll be right back. Alrighty, so I forgot to gap the points. So we got the points gapped. And then did that. We put the cap back on, forgot the rotor. So we're all back together now. We tested, we got spark, and we're going to see what we can get out of it. This thing, like I said, this thing's been setting since, trying to give you guys a little bit better view here. This thing's been setting since 77, I think is what that plate was. So literally 11 years old when it was parked. So let's give it a little drink. I said it's nasty gas, so I don't know what to expect out of that. But give her a whirl, Aaron, see what we got. Right off. We only got a little bit of rock gas there. It doesn't look like we got any smoke out of it though. Let's see if we can keep it running this time. Alright. I might flooded her out. Go ahead and hit it again. Does that have an oil pressure gauge or a light? Ah, alright. Go ahead and crank it. I'm confident I flooded it while it was running. Hold that pedal down. What's that? Lube? Not handy. Go ahead and crank on her again. Let off that, yeah. Now we got her throttle. It might not. It might actually run out of gas because that hit off that ether. Go ahead and crank it again. That wasn't quick enough for the transition. Go ahead. Got a little bit of a lift with that, but not horrible. I'm happy with it. Just a little bit of smoke, not nothing horrible, but she'll run. We're gonna take a dinner break and stuff some groceries down her throat and put a heater hose loop on it, something there, get some coolant in it, and see what she does. See if we can run her long enough to get them lifters pumped back up. And we'll be back with you guys in just a minute. All right, guys. So had it run for a little bit. Aaron spotted that we knew there was no water in it, but Aaron spotted that there was plugs had been pulled out of the block, as well as the, let me try to get you guys down here a little bit. Yeah, the radiator was, plug was pulled, and the hole in the radiator, does it? Oh yeah, she's peeing everywhere. She's European. See that or not? Whew. Yep. Another one over here. So we'll have to find us a radiator if we're planning on driving this way, but that's just barely trickling out down there. And there's not even a plug in it. It's just one full of crap. But the plug back here in the back corner of the block was pulled out, and this was pulled out, which is great. That's. So I just went by with a radio jamming, so that's why there's a plug in the radio now. Anyhow, I drain the radiator, which is great if you have water in it, but what that does, that ends up allowing that radiator to rot from both sides, so that's why we probably have a million pinholes. So yeah, he didn't get a hose clamp up there. So we're gonna let it run, but by letting it run, I mean let the water hose run in it, so we can get some water in it, and then we can let it run and build them lifters up maybe and see what we get. So I think we can fire it up. If we come up with some gas, we can run a line off there, and we'll get that plumbed up. If you want to run uptown and get some gas for us, Alicia, she's hiding behind the camera. Okay. I'll let her run up and get some gas for us. We'll get this plumbed in, and then we can let her sit here and run for a while. So, all right, as you can tell, it's a little bit later. It's dark 30. We discovered that the drain plugs have been for the coolant have been had been took out of the block and the radiator and everything, and that it was full of mud. So we ran the garden hose through there, cleaned that out, discovered we had about, I don't know, 4 or 5 pinholes in the radiator. And we did go ahead and plumb up a, let's put it on this truck real quick. Did go ahead and plumb up a temporary fuel system. So we're going to try to get it running off of the old rotten gas in a bottle long enough to prime up off the fuel pump so we can run it long enough to get the lifters to plumb up, etc. And see, what we got. Make sure we're not going to find a surprise blown head gasket, whatever. So we're going to fire up, see what happens. Give her a crank. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that the flow and the needle and seat and that is stuck. We haven't touched that carburetor at all. So yeah, this looks the appropriate size. Okay, so we have a neighbor who's cool as could be, but he's jamming really loud right now. So I'm keeping the video to a minimum because we're going to have to edit out all the background noise so we don't get a copyright infringement warning before we even monetize. So that's why we're doing very minimum videos. But or you know what I'm trying to say here. And my brain's toast. So what we did, we couldn't get no pressure out of the pump, so I moved the temporary gas tank to the roof of the cab to gravity feed into the pump to get it primed. Cranked on it a second, and we got fuel to come through the pump. He cranked on it for literally half a revolution, and we got a 6-inch shot of fuel coming up out. So it is going to build some pressure that way, and it is pumping through or pushing through the pump even without it running. So should be able to get some gas to the carburetor. We still don't know if we're going to get gas through the carburetor, but we're going to see what we get. Go ahead and crank on that. Did have. Supposed to have a cable on that show. Pretty crazy. Sitting since 1977. I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but I'll put you around here so we get. She ain't smoking none either. I don't technically know that she was sitting since 77, but that was last year on the plates. But typically that's a pretty good indicator. Pretty happy with that, and I don't care how many of these you do, how many chuckers you get running. That high the first time that thing fires up never goes away. I don't care. Cool. Hanging over. That's pretty good. I wish I had some actual gauges. All we got is dummy lights. This is about as stripped down as you can get. I mean, there's nothing in there as far as lights, or it doesn't even have a radio. It's ready to leave. Pretty stoked with that. I keep leaning over that belt like an idiot, waiting for it to smack me in the face. Jump in there and put that gear and see if it'll. We're gonna see if the clutch will grab, see what we get. That first smell of that hot manifold after all them years of gunk, that's always a good smell. It's gonna pull. Got one tire with air in it right now. Yeah, we got 2 flat tires. So. Really good. Open up the gas can. Well, you realize at this point, I don't care how late it is, we're putting tires on this thing, and I'm driving it around the block. So I'm gonna go find some tires. Let's see what we can do. Well, that's disgusting. Yeah, this thing's absolutely gross. Not looking forward to this. Oh, that's... Oh, I just got violated. No. I know you guys can't see it, give me that flashlight. Woo! That's a lot of light. That's brighter than the headlights. There we go. That's not horrible. I think that's too much of a spot, though. Yeah, it looks like a dot.
Make it brighter. Little green button.
That's not bad. That ain't bad. Alright, yeah, we'll try that. There we go. Man, this has got a funky... So, reverse is 2U and back. That's the first time I've seen that in a Chevy. Let's see if we can find... There's Granny. Woo! There we go. First trip down the road. Maybe. Let's go, girl. There she goes. It's insane. I mean, less than a week ago, this thing was working from its grave of, what is that, man? Since 77. That's roughly 45 freaking years. This is set in a Kansas cow pasture. How cool is that when, you know, I don't know, it's just, I don't even know how to describe it, man. That's just an awesome feeling to bring something back from the dead like that, that is set for decades, longer than you've been alive, you know what I'm saying? You think about what's happened the last 45 years in the world. We're cruising this dude around town. And she does have some brakes. All we did was put fluid in the master cylinder. She's got brakes. I can't shift her for to save her life. Woo! Love it. Absolutely freaking love it. No better feeling. Well, there's a few. I mean, you know what I'm saying. So, tomorrow's goal, we gotta find some rubber that's worth putting on this thing. And I've got, today's Friday night, Monday morning, we are supposed to move into our swap meet spot at Ducktail Run. If you guys are not familiar with Ducktail Run in Gas, Indiana, or the James Dean Run, James Dean Day, it's got several different names. Check that out. You know, you guys got to come see us. Huge car show. I think they had over 5,000 cars through the week last year. It officially starts on Wednesday, I think it is. And and we're dead. I'm trying to take off in third. That's what I didn't appreciate. It didn't like third gear takeoffs. Like second a lot better. But anyway, yeah. Ducktail Run, Gas City, Indiana. It's always the third weekend of September. You guys got to check that out. Come see us. We are always set up by the 9th Street or 10th Street bridge. I can't remember what bridge that is. In Gas City. Definitely come see us. Check out what we got for sale. But we're probably going to call this video good. Man, it's been a heck of a day. It's always awesome to bring this stuff back to life. Yeah, we're going to get some rubber on this thing and get a windshield in it Monday. Windshield's on its way now from Ohio. And they're going to have that Monday morning for us, drop it off, and then they're going to call us as it's done. And we're going to get some insurance on this dude and make it to where we can drive it next week. But like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, whatever all that stuff is, you know. But make sure you guys are subscribing, man. Only 30% of our viewers are subscribed, so make sure you guys subscribe, and we'll keep pumping out as much content as we can. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.